welcome back to the channel, and thank you guys for joining me this week. I'm really excited to see what the runes have to say for the week ahead. And of course, before we get started, some astrological weather that we have for the week. Also wanted to say happy Samhain, happy celestial spiritual new year. It is a very important day in the Celtic calendar that had just passed on October 31st. Many of you know it as Halloween. And the importance is because it is the day that is the transition point or the threshold between the old spiritual new year and the new spiritual new year. So now we have walked into November, we're in the new spiritual year. I hope that this year brings you many abundances and great blessings, and I'm excited to see what the year has for us ahead. It's gonna be cool. And before we start, do a little spray here and there. I just bought this from the Awoke Supply Co. and it's really nice. It's absolutely lovely. If you ever need a quick spritz or spiritual cleanser that you can use quickly in your space without having to go through using incense or other means of cleansing a ritual space, it's fun, it's nice, it smells amazing, and it works. So I definitely suggest it if you're interested in that. Now, we have a lunar eclipse in Taurus over the weekend on the 7th into the 8th of November. I believe for the East Coast it's going to be at 5:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so it's going to be very early in the morning on the 8th if I'm not mistaken, though the energy we will begin to feel on Friday going into Monday as like the closing energy. But it's going to be closing off cycles that we started in the beginning of this eclipse season, or these eclipse cycles that we were going through for the past year, which was along the axis of Taurus and Scorpio, which is the axis of divine femininity in the fixed energy. So dealing with our bodies, with our deeper intuitive sense of self, coming into greater awareness and fulfillment of how we relate to ourselves. I always take it as very body-oriented, very how we speak to ourselves, how we dive deeper into our emotions. So that cycle that we've been going through, which started for many of us on April 30th, if I'm not mistaken, is now coming to a close with this lunar eclipse. So be advised, there's going to be a lot of emotional revelations coming up in the next couple days. You may have conversations with friends, family members, or even with co-workers that might illuminate you to how you relate to each other's in relationship, how you connect to yourself. They may illuminate aspects of your own internal conversations that you have, and it's going to be quite revealing. The feeling that I get is like, it's this emotion of, oh wait, I didn't know I spoke to myself like that, or I was unaware that I put myself down subconsciously, or I was not quite aware of the fact that I carry this trauma still, right? And so this moon is going to be, it almost feels like it's turning the soil of our soul. It's digging its fingers into the earth of who we are and pulling it up so that we can turn the soil so that we can plant new seeds for this spiritual year, which is really cool. So, with that said, let's see what the runes will say for the week. Interesting. Okay. All right. I see it. Very interesting energy. So, I did want to mention, for many of us, this week is going to be, as I mentioned earlier, especially alongside the energy of the lunar eclipse, a point of revelation, or a point of spiritual and emotional revolution, where we will literally revolve. It will turn the face of our heart. It will turn the face of our soul, of our minds, towards a different awareness of ourselves. It's going to illuminate avenues of our emotional byways and like our emotional side streets, so to speak, within the city of our heart that suddenly you're going to become aware of, right? And it's going to be good because these revelations are going to provide you the opportunity to send nurturing energy to those spaces. Now, as I was doing the shuffle, I heard a song. It's from an anime. The anime is called To Your Eternity. And it's, I believe, entitled Pink Blood. But the English lyrical translation of it, because the original is in Japanese, but the translation that I came across that I really liked mentioned at one point that, I realize how powerful I am now, and that the only person who can heal me is myself. And that's extremely powerful. Going with this lunar eclipse energy, it is going to be this moment of awakening where you realize just how powerful you are, just how incredibly strong you are in your capacity not only to extend your agency to the spaces around you, but to have the ability to manipulate within reason the spaces that you inhabit. You get to decide how you want to live your life. And of course, many of us may be going through certain circumstances or situations where that may not be wholly feasible at this time. For example, we may have social obligations or responsibilities that are connected to our work environment, our educational environment, or perhaps other aspects of our relationship or relational experiences. Though, it is to say that even within the parameters of those experiences, you have the capacity to determine those boundaries, to determine how you can feel in a certain situation, how far you're going to let someone into your life, right? It's like these elements where we realize just how powerful we are. And I find that really important because right in the center of the reading here, we have Othala, which fell on its side. And also, it kind of looks like a fish. I'll be 1,000%. It kind of looks like a fish to me when it falls on its side. And that bears a lot of social and spiritual context and allegory to it. For example, for those who are a part of the Christian or Catholic traditions, right, the fish represents Jesus's capacity for creating abundance. It represents joy, harmony, balance, which is the first thing that came to my mind. Today is the beginning of a very abundant week and a very abundant year. And a part of this abundance is allowing yourself to come into your spiritual inheritance, to walk firmly and proudly with your head held high into the throne room of your heart and sit upon the throne knowing that it has always belonged to you. This life has always belonged to you. And that's the message that's coming through with this Othala on its side. It feels like we are being given the opportunity to accept or to understand, to accept the crown, to accept the kingdom of our soul, the kingdom of our heart, the kingdom of heaven that dwells within us, right? And acknowledging that despite the outward circumstances, even though there may be certain restrictions in your life at this time, you still have the means to navigate those restrictions or the space that you live in according to your own agency. Which is a really powerful message. It's basically saying, you got this. A powerful message of you have this. So for the next few days, I would say starting today, Wednesday into Friday, just before we start the energy of the lunar eclipse, I feel that the next few days are going to be opportunities for you to say yes to yourself and to say no to the things that you do not want in your life, and really to take stock of those experiences. And then over the weekend into next week, so this is Saturday, I'm feeling Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, alongside the emotional revelations that will be coming this week, and perhaps moments of internal clarity that will shine through. There is a message of the sun, of Sowilo, of this light energy coming through. So I feel like we may feel more confident over the weekend. There may be more opportunity for social engagement. I feel that for some of us, what I'm hearing is that some of us may be over-socialized at this moment, and a part of connecting to the inner solar energy and connecting to that inner joy is finding spaces for yourself that do encourage that joy, whether that may be being with other people at this time for those who are extroverted, or for those who are introverted, carving out spaces for yourself to refresh, to recover, to fill your cup again, is the word that's coming to mind. And then also what's really interesting, I feel to mention this. These two runes, when put together, Sowilo is S and Othala is O. So we literally have the word so. And I like that because so can be interpreted in so many ways. It can be interpreted as a so of like, and so then the journey began. Or so what? Or so? Why are you afraid? Or something even like, so? Why does that matter? Why do these things matter? What really is it that's preventing you from being the fullness of yourself? And then we have two runes that kind of fell on the outside, but I'm being called to look at them. We have Wunyo, which is the rune of joy. And at first it fell Merkstav on the corner of the rune table. But then something told me to place it upright alongside Ingwas that fell on the right. Ingwas being the rune of grounding energy. So really this week is asking ourselves, so what if we're scared? So what if before we thought we weren't good enough, right? That's not today, right? So what if we didn't take care of ourselves before? That's not now. Now is a new year, a new time, a new experience where we will step into our spiritual inheritance and embrace our joy. So, very powerful message for this week. I do hope that many of you are taking the opportunity to reflect and to be kind to yourself, because these are very powerful and heavy emotions, and we'll be experiencing some of them during the week ahead. So let me know how that resonates with you guys. I do love reading the comments when they do come through. It makes me happy. I'm glad that they resonate with you guys, these messages. And of course, if you like the video, like and subscribe below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week here on the channel. All right? Bye, everyone.